Look at this painting for just 5 seconds. Looks like a quiet bedroom scene, doesn't it? A woman resting after a long night. Nothing scandalous. But here's the thing. Every single object in this room is screaming a story that Victorian society desperately tried to hide. And once I show you what those dropped flowers really mean, you'll never look at innocent paintings the same way again. The painting is called Morning After by Gabriel von Max, painted in 1870. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Morning after what? Hold that thought. Because the answer is darker, sadder, and way more honest than most Victorian paintings ever dared to be. Von Max wasn't your typical stuffy academic painter. Sure, he could do the technical stuff, the polished surfaces, the meticulous details that made other artists jealous. But he was obsessed with something most painters avoided: real human psychology. The messy, complicated, shameful stuff people actually feel. This painting, it's a perfect example. At first glance, it looks peaceful. A quiet bedroom, soft morning light, a young woman sitting on the edge of a bed. Nothing shocking, right? But look closer, because every single detail in this room is telling you a story, and it's not a happy one. Let's start with what's on the floor. Flowers. Scattered everywhere, not arranged in a vase, not decoratively placed. Just dropped. In Victorian symbolism, flowers weren't just pretty decoration. They meant something. And scattered, dropped flowers? They symbolized lost innocence. The end of something pure. Basically, they're screaming, something life-changing happened in this room. Then there's the shoe, a single shoe, just laying there. Now you might think, it's just a shoe, people take off shoes. True, but in 19th century painting, nothing is accidental. Shoes on the floor suggested haste, intimacy, passion that couldn't wait. And notice it's just one shoe. Not a neatly placed pair. One. That tells you something happened fast, urgently, without care for the morning after. Oh, and see that glove next to it? In Victorian society, gloves were all about social decorum. Ladies didn't go out without them. They represented respect. A glove discarded on the floor? That's decorum thrown away. That's the social mask completely abandoned. Now, let's talk about the woman. She's sitting on the edge of the bed, half-dressed. Her left hand is covering her face completely. And that gesture? That's the emotional heart of the entire painting. She's not resting. She's not tired. She's hiding. That hand over the face is one of the oldest gestures of shame in art. The overwhelming feeling of, what have I done? Her other hand is resting on the bed, almost limp. Like she's anchored there but doesn't want to be. Like she can't quite figure out how to move forward from this moment. And notice, she's alone. Completely alone. There's no man in this picture. No partner, no lover. Whoever was there last night is now gone. She's left to deal with the emotional aftermath entirely by herself. And von Max makes sure you feel that isolation. The cropped composition keeps you trapped in this intimate space with her. You can't look away. You're forced to witness her private moment of despair. Let's talk about the room itself because it's telling its own story. The bed is luxurious. This isn't some peasant's cottage. This woman has money. She has status. She has comfort, which makes what happened even more complicated. Because in Victorian society, women of her class weren't supposed to have passionate, reckless nights. They weren't supposed to lose control. They definitely weren't supposed to end up sitting alone, devastated the morning after. And then there's that window behind her. Small, narrow, showing just a sliver of the outside world. That window represents everything she's afraid of: public judgment, social consequences, the world outside this bedroom that will absolutely destroy her reputation if they find out what's happened here. The contrast is brutal. Inside, private shame; outside, public ruin. She's trapped between both. So what actually happened in this room? Von Max doesn't spell it out. He doesn't have to. The painting works because it lets you piece it together. The scattered flowers, the hastily removed clothes, the abandoned glove, the isolation. Maybe it was consensual passion that she now regrets. Maybe it was a relationship that ended abruptly. Maybe it was a promised commitment that turned out to be a lie. Maybe something worse. The genius of this painting is that Von Max doesn't judge her. He just shows her humanity. In 1870, most paintings of women in morally compromising situations were either titillating or preachy. They either turned the woman into an object for male fantasy, or they punished her with heavy-handed moralizing. Von Max does neither. He paints her as a human being in genuine emotional distress. And that makes this painting radical for its time. Here's what makes this painting even more powerful. Notice who's missing. The man. He's nowhere. No consequences for him. No shame. No morning after regret. He's just gone. And she's left holding all the emotional weight. All the social judgment. All the potential ruin. Von Max is quietly critiquing the sexual double standard of Victorian society. Men could have passionate affairs and walk away. Women, their entire lives could be destroyed. That empty room, that absent figure, that's deliberate. It's saying, look at what we do to women. Look at how we leave them to suffer alone while men face no accountability. Pretty bold for 1870. What separates this from a simple moral warning painting is the psychological complexity Von Max brings to it. This isn't just, woman makes bad choice, feels shame, the end. Look at how carefully he painted every texture. The silk of her undergarments, the rich carpet, the embroidered bed linens. That level of detail forces you to slow down, to really look, to sit with her in this moment. And when you do that, you start to feel the weight of it. The way shame and regret and confusion all tangle together. This is what interested Von Max throughout his career, the inner life. How people actually feel in their most vulnerable moments. Not the sanitized version, the real, messy, complicated truth. Next time someone tells you that old paintings are just pretty pictures with no deeper meaning, show them this one. Because beneath that peaceful surface lies one of the most honest, empathetic, and quietly revolutionary paintings of the 19th century. What do you think? Is this painting a powerful social critique? Or am I reading too much into some dropped flowers? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you want more paintings that aren't what they seem, hit that subscribe button. Because, trust me, art history is way more scandalous than anyone told you in school.